This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Tijuana Smith with the Dream Home Crew and the Dream Home Crew Property Management. Today, I want to talk about three quick, simple ways that renting is different than buying. And I'm talking about in the beginning process. So we work with renters and homeowners, and we've noticed that sometimes when we're trying to get the conversion going on, a lot of our renters are like, "Oh, this thing's a little different than what I'm used to." So I want to address those things. So I'm going to talk about three. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the application process. When you are renting a home, when you're a renter, a lot of times you're paying 35. I'm thinking sometimes they're up to 75, $100 for an application fee, and you have to go to different companies per house with that. So with home ownership, your application fee, you don't have to pay one up front. That's part of your closing costs later in the process of buying. So that's a big perk. I've heard renters that have had to apply to like 10 properties because right now we're in a market with where we're in a housing shortage. And a lot of times, what these property managers are doing, they're picking like the best candidate, the candidate that has like the 700 credit score, been on the job for like 15, 20 years. So somebody that, is borderline with even like a 580 to 600 score, even lower, you're getting to the bottom of the batch, and if you are a borderline client, you could be spending a lot of money on just applications. However, becoming a homeowner, you only usually have to apply one time. And again, that application fee is not out of pocket up front. The lender asks you to basically the same questions that your rental application will ask. Most of our lenders will start with the 550 credit score. So those borderline, if you're a borderline renter, don't be afraid to fill out a loan application. And of course, if you're in a high credit score, hey, go ahead and give it a try. But that is one of the first differences is that application fee. So versus you having to fill out 10 application fees, spending $1,000 on application fees, buying a home, you only got to fill out one and done and zero. So one of the next differences that I hear in the beginning is home shopping. So a lot of times as a renter, when you see a house that you like, a lot of times you can go see that house first. You're like, oh, okay. Hey, property manager. Hey, rental company. I really like this house. And they say, okay, meet me at this house at 3 o'clock, or they'll give you a code to get in the house. And at this moment, they haven't asked you any questions. They don't know. Sometimes they don't know. They should know your name, but you haven't filled out much information. You might have gave them your driver's license. Sometimes to get a key, you have to give them your driver's license, but you haven't had to fill out an application. You haven't had to have them pull your credit or anything like that. And then when you go talk to the home buying side, guess what? A lot of realtors will require you to be approved by the lender first. So that's a major big difference. Renters, I'm just wanting to let you all know, the reason why. The reason why, a lot of times when you see a property online and you're like, okay, I want to try to become a homeowner, or I've heard about becoming a homeowner, I just don't know what to do. And then you say, oh, that's a pretty house. It's in this beautiful neighborhood. It's close to my friend or my sister's, and it's close to the kids' school. I want to go take a look at it. So you call that number, you talk to that realtor, and they're like, hey, what's your credit score? Hey, how long you been on your job? Hey, have you ever foreclosed? They start asking these deep personal questions. And then they say, like, hey, before I show you this house, you got to fill out this application. And you're like, well, why I got to fill out this application just to see a house? And let me tell you why. That's because the homeowner wants to make sure that someone that's coming to see that house is approved. The bank has looked at your file and that you're out there not being a looky-loo, but a serious home buyer. And when you're a serious home buyer, it's easy. Just fill out the application. We just talked about the difference. When you're a renter and you're filling out applications, that's costing you about $1,000. But when you're a homeowner and you're filling out an application up front, out of pocket, it's zero. So that's one of the major differences is you're going to have to more than likely fill out an application before you go see a house with a realtor when you're trying to purchase. We will show maybe one house, to a serious person that we have asked some pre-screen questions to. But like to show you like 10, 12 houses, absolutely not. And but yeah, get approved, fill out the application, and I mean, hey, we're gonna show your house till we find that house. If it's 10, 20 houses, we're gonna show you. And my last difference from being a renter to a homeowner is working with the realtor. So when you're renting and you're looking at rental properties, a lot of times you're having to go to different property management companies. Like each house is affiliated with a different company. Sometimes you could go to a website, some of the larger companies have multiple properties for rent all at the same time. Rare, but every now and then that can happen. So so what you'll do, you'll be filling out the application, you'll be talking to different property managers because it's different properties. But when you're become a homeowner, you're going to be talking to one realtor. So it's a whole different concept. And I'm just going to tell you, a realtor, this is what they do for a living. They don't want to be out like spending time matching you with the property for you to go to the next realtor to do the same thing, to go to the next realtor to do the same thing. So a lot of times when you meet a realtor first, they're going to ask you to fill out a buyer agent agreement, and it just basically says that they're representing you on your home purchase, and they have your best interests at heart. And you'll be working with that one realtor to show you multiple houses versus going to this company to show you this house and that company to show you that house and that company to show you that house. That's rental mindset. So I just wanted to, point out those three differences so that when you are ready to have that conversation about, hey, let's try to become a homeowner, let's talk to a realtor, you'll kind of know, it won't seem so foreign. All right. Okay, again, my name is Tijuana with the Dream Home Crew. Bye.